Welcome to another edition of Feminist Fumbles. As always, I am Mad Cat, the angry egalitarian, giving you the news stories. Stupid YouTube. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, giving you the news stories that don't quite make it on my Smash series, but worth talking about, while trying to keep it short, simple, and sarcastic. So let's go ahead and get the show started today. Only got a couple of articles to do. There we go. And if you happen in onto the channel on this video, just go ahead and leave a message and I'll try to read it on the air. So only two articles today. It'd help if I start at the beginning. Should schools ask students about their sexual orientation to protect LGBT rights? Now, not exactly a feminist fumble here, but I kind of feel that, this PC culture that has developed and that feminism thrives in has certainly created this situation. Now, let me go ahead and read this a little bit here. Researchers are calling on the federal government to begin collecting information about LGBT students' experiences at the nation's schools, arguing that such data collection is necessary to protect against disproportionate rates of suspension and expulsion. Because apparently LGBT students are more likely to get suspended or expelled from school. I'm actually kind of curious to see the research into that one because that's a little hard to believe. But apparently there is some sort of bias against these students, so they're getting expelled. When we fail to ask these questions about their youth, sexual orientation, and gender identity, we fail to understand, support, and protect all students from discrimination in schools. Okay, that sounds perfectly reasonable, but, the thing is this is a confusing time for children at this point in their lives. I mean, it's a little hard for me to believe that anyone would fully understand their sexuality at this time, whether they're straight, gay, lesbian, transgender doesn't count, in my opinion, because that's not a sexual orientation. That's a gender orientation, although I'm sure that this would qualify under that. Well, it does say sexual orientation and gender identity, so there you go. So transgender. Now this is going to be an anonymous thing where people can anonymously state what orientation they are. But I don't know. I think that this is a foolhardy move to make. Schools already track, things such as your race, your, all sorts of information about you. But honestly, this is really no one's damn business what your orientation is. And this seems to be more like an effort to try to fill some sort of quota system, saying, hey, we have this many lesbians and gays and bisexuals and transgendered in our schools. We're a better school. We're more inclusive. We also have blacks and this and that. And I feel like that this could be something that can try to push straight white men to be even more segregated. And it's like, oh no, poor white men, blah, 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 blah. No, this is a very serious thing. We're starting to see a culture where being white and male is the worst thing you can possibly be. In a time where we're supposed to be promoting equality, what we're trying to say, what a lot of these groups are doing is saying, hey, we had it rough all of these years, even though I wasn't born back then, but my ancestors did. So you have to suffer a while to understand that, even though you had nothing to do with your ancestors doing that. And I mean, it sounds good on paper, like, hey, if students identify that they're an LGBT, and then we can track what sort of experience they have in school, then we can try to improve it for them. But do you see the problem there? You're only focusing on part of the issue. You're only focusing on those that are the LGBT and not focusing on those that might be straight or cisgendered. I hate using that term, but it fits in this circumstance. See, you're only focusing on minority groups and you're not focusing on the greater whole. So I think this is a bad idea. There are people who actually agree with me that would be within the LGBT, such as this: disclosing one LGBT identity or coming out to others would create unique stressors for LGBT youth. Such actions may place LGBT students at risk for rejection, discrimination, negative mental health outcomes, or a lack of support from family. Well, again, this would be anonymous, but my whole thought is, you mean like any other high school student? So, yeah, I think this is overall a bad idea, and it's just a way to be inclusive to these minority groups and nothing else. So, that's my opinion. Okay, so 5 feminist movements to pay attention to this year. So we're going to get a glimpse into the future of what we should be focusing on. So let me see if I can zoom this up for you. That should be good. All right, I'm not going to read any of this gobbledygook bullshit. I mean, it's bustle, for crying out loud. I'm sure we could recite this with our eyes closed and both hands tied behind our backs. I don't know what the second one has to do with that, but just go with me. Emma Watson's book club. That's a thing to look forward to in 2016. So apparently this feminist icon is trying to find new ways to incorporate women into her activism. Her activism being about women, so, well, duh. I thought her activism was about trying to find ways to put men into her activism, aka he for she. Go figure. I mean, if it was a feminist book club for men, that would make sense. But this is a feminist book club for women. Yeah, kind of dropping the ball there, Emma Watson. So in January, she announced that she'd have a feminist book club called Our Shared Shelf. Try to say that 3 times fast. Our Shared Shelf. Our Shared Shelf. The book club has attached super high-profile ladies such as Carly Kloss and Sophia Bush. And they started reading All About Love, New Visions by Bell Hooks. You know, all the things that you could capitalize and you can't even capitalize bell hooks. It's a minor thing. So, yes, let's look forward to Emma Watson because she did so well in 2015. Disc Woman. Sounds like a horrible superhero name. Disc Woman has in 2004 launched a 2-day music festival in Brooklyn, New York. 2 years later, Disc Woman is a platform, collective, and booking agency focused on supporting women in the male-dominated world of electronic music. Disc Woman has grown significantly, hosting events in 15 cities and working with more than 150 DJs and producers. Was this really a movement, though? This is more just like, you know, an event. Is that what qualifies for a movement, is events? I mean, it's still a bit sexist that it's only focusing on women. It's like, well, it's a male-dominated world, and we want to support women. Most singers, most artists are women. I would love to see an actual breakdown of that, but I mean, it seriously seems like more women are in music than men, and I'm talking about actual performers. Women who work. Really? There are women who work? Okay, I know, horrible joke. Women do work and they are very impressive, such as the honey badgers. Believe me, they put a lot of work into their stuff. Her high profile father might be running a wild campaign for president, but Ivanka Trump, is that Ivana or Ivanka? Wasn't he married to Ivana? So maybe that's their daughter. I don't know. Women Who Work celebrates the progress that women have made by highlighting the modern Wookiee, the modern Wookiee, the modern working woman. She's an executive vice president of the company that bears the family name. Gee, I wonder how she got that job. She's the executive vice president of her father's company. And a mother of soon-to-be 3 children. The Women Who Work campaign features contents about career advice, healthy eating, professional style, and the impressive female role models who work across a wide variety of industries today. By saying, well, there's a wage gap. Do you think Ivanka has a wage gap issue? I bet she doesn't. I bet she makes more money than her male coworkers. Because again, who's her father? Oh yes, Donald Trump. So yes, feminists, look forward to this campaign, Women Who Work. Although this might be a bit triggering for you because many of you don't work because you got a useless degree. No comments yet. Female collective. We are female of Borg. You will be assimilated. Mind your uterus. If you've ever wondered where to get a shirt that says, you do uterus? What the fuck? You do uterus? What is that even supposed to mean? Then this one is for you. Originally launched by 26-year-old Candace Reels. You have to tell us she's 26. That's important information here. How about you just tell us it's launched by Candace Reels? Now it seems like not only is this sexist, but it's ageist. Like you have to mention she's 26. Grown into a source of inspiration and action for feminists, the Feminist Collective, or the Female Collective. So they provide witty feminist voice needed on social media. Oh yeah, that's what we're missing is witty voices. Well, actually we are, because all we get is angry ones. Let's have some fucking humor on Twitter from the feminists. Haha, they can joke about themselves. You know how much better communication would be with feminists if they could learn to take a fucking joke and be able to self-depreciate once in a while? Oh my God, that would be amazing. The Female Collective must be such a great thing. I somehow doubt it. But it now has included an online store and a campaign to collect undergarments for women in homeless shelters. Oh, dear God, you lost me there. I will do the witty feminist voice on social media. It sounds like a great thing, but now you have an online store. Okay, I don't really give a shit about that, whether you have one or not. I mean, I sell books. I say, hey, people, go buy my book. So not a real big deal there. But undergarments for women in homeless shelters. Can that be any more dripping of sexism? Now, yes, it's unfortunate that women become homeless. And undergarments, such as underwear and socks, are more important than many other things that people often give to homeless people. Like they'll often give like shirts, you know. They can get plenty of shirts, but like underwear and socks, very important things. Okay. I believe it was Gwen Lily Knight that did a what was it? A charity drive to get socks for the homeless. But here's the kicker is you're talking about women in homeless shelters. Yes, because men are not allowed in these shelters. So it only makes sense to do it for women. Now, if you said getting socks and underwear for men and women who are homeless, because you differentiate the saying it for homeless shelters, because most men are out on the streets. There are some women out on the streets, but the majority is men, and you're only focusing on a single subset, which just shows how sexist you are. This should be something for both genders, because being homeless is being homeless is being homeless. It doesn't matter what's between your fucking legs. If you're homeless, you're homeless. So yeah, that's the thing to look forward to this year, is giving money only for women to benefit. You feminists talk about wanting equality. Well, you know what? Here's an opportunity. Tell these harpies to go and donate to both men and women, not just women. Don't think that men have it better being homeless, because I'll tell you right now, they don't. Most people try to ignore when men are homeless. Women at least get a little bit of sympathy. Hollywood's fight for equal pay. So this is just like blah, blah, blah. Jennifer Lawrence talking about, oh, I didn't get paid as much. They got 1.9 million. I only got 1.8 million. It's not fair. Even though the people she was co-starring with had been acting longer than she had been alive. And also for the fact this was her first time in an R-rated movie. If she got less than 0.1 million for her role in a new genre that she was never a part of, with well-established actors who had been in it for a long time. I mean, equal pay for equal work, yes, but also for experience, for how much money you're going to bring in. I'm sure the little girls who are watching, well, what are those stupid movies? Well, actually, I kind of enjoy them. Hunger Games. I'm sure the little girls watching Hunger Games like, Mommy, I want to go see American Hustle. Isn't that a rated R movie? Yes, but Katniss Everdeen's going to be in American Hustle. We have to watch it. No. And you really think you deserve equal pay going into a new genre of movie that you haven't acted in before? You're fucking stupid. You expect to be in an entry-level position and get paid the exact same amount as someone who's been there for 5 years? It doesn't work that way. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Jennifer fucking Lawrence. I might like Hunger Games. It's a great movie, and she does a great job in there, but that doesn't mean I have to fucking like her. So anyways, yeah, they're just talking about how she's going to be fighting the good fight, but this isn't really a movement. I mean, it says will likely to continue throughout 2016. This isn't a movement, though. I mean, neither is selling T-shirts and, I mean, I guess a campaign to collect undergarments, it's technically a movement, but it's a charity drive. That's not a movement, you know. And scrolling back up, women who work, hashtag about celebrating women who actually work or trying to help women to work. I guess that's technically a movement. And I guess Disc Woman, you know, basically having a concert to make money and saying, hey, women are great. Buy money, you know, pay money to us so we can prove that women are great. And let's not forget a book club, because no woman in the history of ever has ever had a book club until Emma fucking Watson came along and started one. Oh, she's a rebel. She's a maverick. So, yeah. I mean, if this is what constitutes as 5 feminist movements to pay attention to this year, my God, feminism, you've become lame. Seriously. You know what's going on soon is a conference for men's rights in London. Oh my God, I wish I was going. One of these days, someone's going to be like, you know who we should have at these conferences? We should have Mad Cat. He has a lot to say. Although we'll have to ask him not to scream on stage because people have sensitive ears. But, you know, he has some good insights on some stuff. How about he do a presentation on something? Tell your friends. Make sure I'm at the next one, whenever that is, or whatever it'll be. But, I mean, that's something that men's rights is doing, is we're having a conference. That could be considered part of the movement. That is a major movement, that we're talking about men's rights, despite everything going on. I mean, there's nothing in this entire list that even comes close to that. If you say, hey, there's a big conference going on this year where we really discuss women's rights, I'd be like, okay, that qualifies. My God, Bustle, do you just have no standards whatsoever? I mean, I kind of already know that with most of the articles I read from you, but even this is the 5 most powerful things of 2016 that qualifies for really showing feminism what it is. All it is just sexism wrapped in safe rooms, safe spaces. That's all this is. My God, you should be embarrassed for yourself. Alex Gladue, be embarrassed for yourself if you think these are 5 things that feminists should look forward to this year. A fucking book club, a fucking concert, fucking t-shirts. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and Jennifer Lawrence might get that $0.1 million she didn't get for American Hustle, even though she probably got paid more doing Hunger Games than her male co-star. I'm willing to bet. I would love to see how much money everyone made on there. Because one, it'll probably prove my point that actors like Woody Harrelson and oh God, what is his name? He played Snow. God, that's going to bother me. It's Kiefer Sutherland's father, Donald Sutherland. Yes. I'm sure those 2 actors got paid a lot because they have been acting a lot longer than Jennifer Lawrence has been alive. And by certain standards of their union, they have to get paid a certain amount of money just to be in a movie. That's why movies can't always get the people they want, because they run out of finances. So I guess that does it for today. I should go ahead and end things here. Certainly, I've been on for 22 minutes. 22 minutes, I only had 2 articles. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Be sure to check out my Patreon so I can do better quality stuff and get medical treatment. There's my Twitter if you want to follow me. But if you don't want to necessarily do Patreon, I can understand that. Consider buying my book. That'll take you to both of my books on Smashwords. First one is free to download. It's about vampires, about knights, fighting each other, about vampires spreading a deadly disease, killing lots and lots and lots of people. It's good stuff, and it's about 5 men. I've made sure that this was really a book I wanted to tell without having to cater to the liberal feminist bullshit out there. Although, just for fun, I managed to pass the Bechdel test, just to show how easy it is. So buy my book. Get the first one for free if you like it. Get the second one. And do me a favor, leave an honest review. Like it, hate it, just put it on there and let me know what you think. And also the voice equality stuff, find your country, sign a petition, make websites such as Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, what have you, responsible for free speech, freedom of speech. Most of these are American-based companies, and they should still adhere to freedom of speech. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I will be on tomorrow for my Smash series. Anywho, this is Mad Cat signing off.